Hello and welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I'm a former wedding planner and blogger, and I'm obsessed with weddings. If you're planning a wedding in Ireland, you're in the right place. You're going to learn the tried and tested methods to planning your dream wedding without the added stress. Think of this as your one-stop shop for everything to do with planning your wedding in Ireland, with me, your new wedding planning bestie, and a cup of tea. This is Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly, and as you probably heard in the intro, I used to be a wedding planner. I'm now a wedding blogger, content creator, and I love sharing my expertise with you. And I've often alluded to, some of the things that people think about wedding planners from my experience when I used to be one. And today we're actually talking all about that. If you've ever uttered the phrase something like this: having a personal wedding planner is a complete waste of money, I can do it all myself, then maybe you're in the right place, because what we're going to do today is I'm actually going to have 4 people who are going to join me, and they're going to help us to understand what wedding planners actually do. So we're going to go through some misconceptions, and I'm hoping that by the end of this episode, you'll have a much clearer idea of what a wedding planner does and how involved they could be to help your wedding dreams come to life. So these are the 3 misconceptions that we are going to talk about today. The first one is that wedding planners cost too much money. The second one is that they take away control. And the third one is that all they really do is just make things look pretty. So my special guests are Everita Kenny, who you will recognize from previous episodes, Lina Freitag, another one that you will recognize, Moisa from Gelasa Weddings, and Nicole and Olivia from Emerald Isle Events. So between the group of them and me, we're going to help educate you as to what wedding planners actually do. I'm going to end the episode with a kind of non-exhaustive list of things that wedding planners do, like specific tasks that they do. And some of these guest experts are also going to help to unpack what wedding planners do. They're going to help you to understand the benefits of having a wedding planner, and they're going to help, bust some myths. So if you've already decided that a wedding planner is too expensive for you, I want you to listen, because they could change your mind and you could realize that you could in fact afford a wedding planner. If you've decided that, you want to be in charge of everything and you can't have somebody come in and take control, then listen to this too. And if you don't really know what a wedding planner does, and maybe you've seen, shows and movies and things, and you've got an idea of what a wedding planner does, and it just feels like it's an unnecessary thing because they just make it look good, then I want you to listen to this, because by the end of the episode, you're going to know what wedding planners do, and it might change your mind, and you may be able to actually have a wedding planner bring your dreams to life and help take out some stress. So why don't we get started with misconception number 1, and that is that wedding planners cost too much money. I thought the same thing myself, and I always had this idea that a wedding planner is a luxury, and if you're a celebrity or if you're really rich and you're just too busy, then you get a wedding planner. But when I became a wedding planner, I started to understand that it's not a luxury thing, and there are so many ways that a wedding planner's services can become affordable to the average wedding couple who's not necessarily a celebrity or someone super rich and famous. So why don't you have a listen to what Everita Kenny had to say, because she gave a really helpful answer to my question of what do wedding planners cost, and why do people think they're so expensive? She helped to articulate exactly what a wedding planner does and how they can save you some money. So why don't you have a listen to this?
Having a personal wedding planner is a complete waste of money. I can do it all myself. This statement couldn't be more wrong. Hiring a wedding planner, you give them your budget, your wish list, your preference, your expectations, and your vision. And they will find suppliers to suit your budget, suit your style. They will spend more focus on what's important to you. They will save your money on things that aren't necessary for you. This way, you have a point of contact along the way instead of you being the point of contact to all your suppliers. You have more time to spend time with your future husband or wife, more time to enjoy the run-up to your big wedding day, and most importantly, you get to be the guest of honor rather than the hostess. Because for all my couples, I am there with them on the day, making sure they don't do anything else except enjoying their special day. The bottom line, having a wedding planner saves you money and time.
Well, You might not have seen that coming, but not only is a wedding planner possibly in your budget, but a wedding planner could actually help to save you money. So, one of the things that I find really amazing about wedding planners is that they can actually help you to avoid costly mistakes. So, if you've never planned a wedding before, which, most brides, most grooms have never done any kind of wedding planning before, maybe you have some experience with event planning, but it's a really completely different world planning a wedding. It's so easy to make mistakes, and to have a wedding planner on your side who can help you to avoid those mistakes that could cost you a lot of money and to help negotiate prices is actually a game changer. Why don't we move on to misconception number 2, which is that wedding planners take away control. And I've seen the movies, I've seen the TV shows where the wedding planners take control, and I can understand why this is what couples think. But I got some really helpful information from Lina Freytag, who's an amazing wedding planner, and she helped to understand how a wedding planner can come alongside a couple to bring their vision to life, and that is their role. So why don't you have a listen to what she had to say, because I think this will help you to understand how you could still, retain that level of being in charge of your own wedding while having the support of a wedding planner.
Hi, I'm Lina Freitag. I'm thrilled to join you today to address a common misconception about wedding planners, the idea that we take over control. Let me reassure you, my role as a wedding planner is not to dictate or take charge of your special day. Instead, it's to collaborate with you, guiding you through the process and turning your dreams into a reality. Couples often come to me with a vision, but they may not be sure how to bring it to life. That's where my team and I step in. You share your ideas and inspirations, and we provide thoughtful proposals that align with your vision. We often introduce options or creative details you might not have considered, simply because most couples are navigating this journey for the first time and may not know what's possible. However, it's essential to us that the final decisions always remain yours. This is your wedding, a reflection of your story, style, and personality as a couple. Our role is to offer guidance, present tailored ideas, and handle the logistics, all while ensuring every decision stays true to your wishes. This collaborative approach allows you to stay in control of the vision while letting us take away the stress. Whether it's navigating the jungle of vendors and proposals, finding professionals who align with your budget and style, or overseeing the setup on the morning of your wedding while you relax. We're there every step of the way. Together, we'll create a wedding that's not just memorable, but truly reflective of who you are as a couple. Thank you for letting me share this perspective. I hope it provides clarity on how a wedding planner can bring your vision to life without taking over.
I love that. It is all about taking your vision as a couple, and the wedding planners help you to bring that to life, using their expertise and helping to find the professionals and just bringing all your dreams to life. And it really isn't about taking control. Let's move on to our final misconception. And I've got 2 guests who are going to help to unpack how things work. But the misconception is that wedding planners really only just make things look pretty. And now, if you've ever wondered what a wedding planner does and you don't know, what's incorporated into their role, it's no surprise that you would be skeptical about hiring one. So I spoke to 2 wedding planning companies to find out a little bit more about what wedding planners do. And so I'm going to share their expertise. And then at the end of the episode, I'm going to give you a non-exhaustive list of some of the tasks that wedding planners do, like concrete tasks you can expect someone to help you with. But first, we have a French wedding planner from Jalasa who's going to give us a little bit more of an understanding of how to keep the couple happy as a wedding planner.
Hello, I'm Moisa, French wedding planner at Jalasa. Misconception: wedding planners just make things prettier. First of all, our job is to make the bride and groom happy before, during, and after the wedding. We're not here to look pretty or make things prettier. We work to respect the needs and requirements of the bride and groom, even if we don't have the same taste or vision of things. I take the ideas on board but make a point of remaining elegant. When it comes to coordinating the big day, we are not just there to decorate, but we are always on the move to manage the smallest detail and make sure the days go smoothly. In conclusion, a wedding is already beautiful. We are here to keep it that way. Thank you for listening me. See you soon.
I really love that. I love that. Your wedding is already going to be beautiful because it's your wedding and you're getting married. But the wedding planner is there to help keep it that way. And I think that is an interesting perspective. They're not here to just make things look pretty because your wedding's going to be beautiful no matter what. But they do things behind the scenes that you wouldn't know about to help keep things that way. And so for a little bit more detail on some of the things that a wedding planner would do on the day, Nicole and Olivia from Emerald Isle Events have given us some really helpful insights about some specific things that wedding planners will do for you on the day that you've probably never thought of before. And if you've ever attended a wedding, you might not have even noticed that a wedding planner was behind the scenes, pulling strings and making things happen so it all runs smoothly. So have a listen to what they had to say.
We're Nicole and Olivia from Emerald Isle Events. And when it comes to the big day, wedding planners are professionals, not just standing around with clipboards looking official, but we are the glue holding everything together. We're the first ones on site, overseeing every single detail, from double-checking the setup to ensuring that the flowers, tables, and decor match the couple's vision. Nothing is left to chance. We are also the ultimate timekeepers. Planners keep the day running on schedule, coordinating with vendors like photographers, venue kitchen staff, band, and officiants to make sure everything happens at just the right time. And let's not forget crisis management. A missing buttonhole, a late vendor, a weather surprise. We've got the tools and the calm demeanor to solve those problems without the couple even knowing. We will even run to Dunn's to pick up groomsmen's socks that were left at home. Wedding planners are also part stylist, making sure the bridal party looks flawless, and part host, guiding guests to their seats, answering questions, and ensuring everyone feels welcome and cared for. Essentially, a wedding planner's job is to ensure the day feels effortless for everyone else, even if we're running a marathon behind the scenes. It's like having your own personal superhero for your big day.
I love that, having your own personal superhero for the big day. And let me tell you, wedding planners do run well, maybe not literally running all the time, but they're walking really quickly behind the scenes, making sure that things are happening. And so a wedding planner is not just there making sure that the flowers look nice and everything, but they really are pulling strings behind the scenes. And so I thought I'd give you a little bit of an insight into some of the things that a wedding planner does before the wedding, now that we know a bit more about what you can expect on the day. So here are some things. A wedding planner will introduce you to their supplier contacts. Now, something that I love about Irish weddings is that there are these pockets of suppliers and supplier teams that have worked together so many times. You've got a wedding planner who knows a really good photographer and, they know a great DJ and florist. And they're these suppliers that have worked together before and they understand one another's contracts and they just gel together. So a wedding planner will be able to help you find suppliers that you don't yet have. It saves you time because you won't have to be scouring through supplier pages and reviews for every single supplier, but they could help narrow down the list for you by saying, here are 2 or 3 people that I've worked with before who are in the same style that you're looking for. Why don't you take a look? So instead of looking through hundreds and hundreds, they'll give you a handful. Another thing is they'll be thinking about the what if scenarios. So, Nicole and Olivia told us a little bit about, backup plans and stepping in if something needs to be done. But your wedding planner will be thinking about those things ahead of time and having solutions, and they'll know exactly what to do because they've probably dealt with these things before. They'll work with you to create a budget and they will help you stick to it. For more tips on that, I would love for you to listen to next week's podcast episode where we're going to be talking all about wedding budgets, but specifically some very strategic things you can do to actually stick to your budget. If you have a wedding planner, they will help you do that as well. A good wedding planner is also going to have a timeline based on your specific engagement length and when you're getting married. They'll help you to know what decisions to make at different points so that you don't need to stress about, things that can wait till later down the line. They're going to help you come up with the overall style design. They'll come up with, color schemes and decor ideas and different things, but they can be as involved or not involved as you want, just like we spoke about earlier. They don't take control, but if you come in and say, I don't really have any colors in mind, but this is the kind of vibe, or you could come in and say, I know exactly what style and decor I want. Either way, they'll be able to help you bring it to life. A wedding planner is also going to help you to choose the right venue based on your vision and budget. So if you don't have a venue yet, you can still hire a wedding planner who's going to help you. If you do have a wedding venue, then your wedding planner can help you with things like space layouts, permits, and any requirements that you might need that you probably haven't thought of. A wedding planner will help you review your contracts because they understand the fine print and they can help negotiate the best terms and conditions and deals and different things that you wouldn't understand how they work. And then a final thing on this non-exhaustive list is that in the weeks leading up to the wedding, your wedding planner will be able to confirm all your supplier bookings. They'll go through the timeline with everybody. They make sure that all the details from like the transport to the decor and everything will be in place. So basically, spoiler alert, wedding planners are amazing, superheroes. And if you want to find out more about any of the wedding planners who were guests on this episode, I will put a link to each one of them in the notes for this episode so you can have a look, you can get some more expert advice. I think they'd be absolutely delighted to hear from you if you had any further questions. I mean, you can always come to me as well. But if you wanted to talk to any of these wedding planners to find out more about their services or anything that they've spoken about today, they would love to hear from you. Well, thank you for listening today. The Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast is produced by me, Kelly, and mixed, mastered, and edited by Glenn Hartman. For more wedding planning tips, advice, checklists, and more, visit weddingsonline.ie.